In 90 days, Britney Spears sold her entire music catalog for $200 million, got arrested for driving under the influence, checked herself into rehab, and quietly pled guilty. In a Ventura County courtroom she didn't even show up to. And the part nobody is connecting, every single one of those moves points to the same conclusion. She's not having a breakdown, she's executing a plan. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happened to Britney Spears in 2026. Not the tabloid version from TMZ or Page 6. The actual timeline. Why she sold her songs. What really happened the night she got pulled over. Why her lawyer showed up to court alone. And the one thing she said publicly that tells you exactly where this ends. If you grew up on Toxic and Oops, I Did It Again, or if you watched the Free Britney movement explode across TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram in 2021, this matters because what's happening right now could either be the final chapter of one of the most controlled lives in pop music, or the start of something nobody's ready for. Stick with me. By the end, you'll know which one it actually is. Let's start with the move that should have been the biggest headline of the year. In February 2026, Variety dropped a story most casual fans completely missed. Primary Wave, a music publisher, acquired Britney Spears' entire music catalog. The deal? Roughly $200 million. That's every song, every master recording rights stake, every royalty stream, Baby One More Time, Oops, I Did It Again, Toxic, Gimme More, Circus, all of it, sold. Now here's why this matters more than people realize. Artists don't sell their catalog when they're planning a comeback album or world tour. They sell it when they're planning an exit from the music industry. Bob Dylan did it with Universal Music Publishing Group. Bruce Springsteen did it with Sony Music. Stevie Nicks sold most of her catalog to Primary Wave too. In every case, it's the same move. Take the lump sum, lock in generational wealth, step back from the business of being a recording artist. Britney just made the same call. And remember, in 2024, she already publicly announced she was leaving the music industry on her Instagram account. In 2026, she clarified it. She said she would, quote, never go back. That $200 million deal, that's her putting her money where her mouth is. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Less than 30 days after that catalog sale closed, the police pulled her over, and everything changed. March 4th, 2026, 9:28 p.m. California Highway Patrol gets a report of erratic driving near Britney Spears' Ventura County home. Officers stop a black BMW. They conduct field sobriety testing on the side of the road. They arrest the driver on suspicion of driving under the influence under California Vehicle Code Section 23,152. The driver is 44-year-old Britney Jean Spears. The booking happens in the early hours of March 5th. Within hours, the internet detonates. 24-hour news cycles, TMZ exclusives, Hollywood Life timelines, every celebrity gossip channel on YouTube scrambling to react with breaking coverage. But here's what most of them missed. Her own representative released a statement that didn't sound like the usual celebrity damage control. It said this was an unfortunate incident that was completely inexcusable. It said she would comply with the law. And then it said something most reps would never put in writing. They called this, quote, the first step in long overdue change that needs to occur in Britney's life. Stop and read that again. That's not a PR statement. That's a family or a team admitting in public that something has been wrong for a long time, which raises the question that everyone is asking, but almost nobody is answering honestly. Has Britney really been okay since the conservatorship ended? Or has the world just been politely looking away? Here's where the story gets interesting. 5 weeks after the arrest in early April 2026, Britney's rep confirmed she had checked herself into a treatment facility, voluntarily, because the entire conservatorship battle from 2008 to 2021 was built on the idea that Britney could not make her own healthcare decisions, that she needed to be controlled. And in 2026, with no conservatorship in place, she walked herself into rehab on her own terms. That's the difference between control and autonomy. Sources told Page 6 she was, quote, healthy and happy after treatment. She left rehab at the end of April. She's continuing counseling on an outpatient basis. Now here's the part most channels are not telling you. Just 6 weeks before the arrest in February, Britney posted on social media that she felt, quote, lucky to be alive after years of what she called painful treatment from her own family. She talked about being scared of certain relatives. She talked about isolation, control, and emotional damage that, in her words, may never fully heal. So when she got pulled over on March 4th, that wasn't a celebrity acting out. That was a woman who just publicly admitted she was barely holding it together. And the courtroom hearing that came next, it tells you everything about how her team is handling this. May 4th, 2026, Ventura County Superior Court. Britney Spears is scheduled to appear for her DUI arraignment. She doesn't show up. Her defense attorney appears on her behalf. And in front of the judge, the attorney pleads guilty to 1 count of reckless driving. This is what's called a wet reckless plea. Here's what a wet reckless actually means. It's a lesser charge, less stigma, often used when a DUI case has weaknesses or when the prosecution wants to close the file fast. In exchange, Britney got 1 year of probation, 1 day in jail with credit for time already served the night of the arrest, a $571 fine, a 30-hour DUI education program, weekly meetings with a psychologist, twice monthly meetings with a psychiatrist. And here's the part that nobody is talking about. As part of the plea deal, her car is now authorized to be searched for drugs and alcohol at any time. That's not a slap on the wrist. That's a leash. Legal experts told Page 6 immediately after the arrest that 1 DUI is not enough to bring back a conservatorship. But they also said something more interesting. They said if another incident happens, the conversation changes very fast. Which brings us to the question this whole video has been building toward. Where does Britney Spears actually go from here? Here's the part of the story that no other celebrity news channel has put together. If you look at every piece of evidence as one timeline, the picture becomes crystal clear. February, she sells her entire music catalog for $200 million. That's an artist closing the books. March, she gets arrested. That's the wheels coming off in real time. April, she checks into rehab voluntarily. That's an attempt at self-correction. May, her lawyer pleads guilty in a courtroom she doesn't attend. That's her team protecting her from the spotlight. Now look at what she said publicly about her future. She has stated she will never perform in the United States again. But she said this, and pay attention. She said she hopes to one day perform in the United Kingdom or Australia, sitting on a stool with a red rose in her hair, alongside her son. That's not a comeback. That's a goodbye tour. A small, controlled, personal final chapter on her own terms. And here's the emotional payoff. Britney Spears has spent 30 years performing for everyone else. Her father, her management, her label, her audience, the catalog sale, the rehab, the quiet plea deal, the refusal to perform in America. It's all the same thing. It's a woman finally, slowly, painfully, taking herself off the stage. This isn't a collapse. This is a retirement nobody's allowed to say out loud. And if she ever does take that stool in London or Sydney with her son next to her, that won't be a comeback either. It'll be the last lap. For longtime fans who grew up streaming her music, watching her videos on MTV, attending her Las Vegas residencies, and following the Free Britney movement, this is the ending we always knew was coming. So here's my question for you. Do you think Britney Spears ever performs live again? And if she does, is it a real return? Or is it the goodbye she's been trying to give us for years? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And while you're down there, smash the like button if this is the first time anyone has actually connected the dots on what's happening to Britney. Then hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This is Hype Frame TV, new deep dives every week. If it's trending, shocking, or about to break the internet, we're already on it, always one frame ahead.